Do we have freedom of speech in America? Well, according to the First Amendment, we do. But it seems as though someone didn't get the memo. Do you need someone to tell you that you have the right to remain silent or that you can speak? I don't believe so. It's not simply a belief, it's a fact. Ladies and gentlemen, when are you going to take your rights back and stop letting the dictatorial system that says that they're governing us control you? You have a right to say anything that you want to, as long as you're being honest and as long as you're not damaging another human being. You can speak your mind, speak your piece. There's a way to do everything. We do have this freedom of speech. We were born with it. We were all born sovereign. Every human being on the planet born sovereign. Now, we may have been born in a government system or governmental system that was tyrannical, depending on where you were on planet Earth, what country, what nation, their ideologies and so forth. But according to God, we were born with the freedom of speech, liberty, the ability to pursue happiness for us and our families. But that does not seem to be the case in America. Even though the First Amendment says that we have the right to freely assemble peacefully and the right to the freedom of speech and religion and so on and so forth, is that really true? Maybe someone didn't get the memo when Kevin Trudeau was sentenced to 10 years in prison. He's there right now. He's one of my mentors. He was the author and the founder of the natural cures they don't want you to know about. But he told the truth. He gave people an option to health. But because there was not any money in it for the pharmaceutical companies and the medical industry, he was targeted for telling what? The truth. You can do that research on your own. Kevin Trudeau. How about Dr. Sebi? He mysteriously died in prison on some alleged charges of possibly being a drug dealer because he had so many thousands of dollars on this person in his hometown, because he won a case against the Supreme Court when they said that he was alleging that he could cure cancer. But this man appeared in court with many of his patients, doctors and lawyers and people who were saying that, oh, he's claiming that he can cure cancer. But he had the documentation and the information and the scientific proof to corroborate his claims. And he beat that Supreme Court case. But Dr. Sebi is dead. This same man who was the spitting image of health, he's dead. Mr. Bowman, that was his last name. Alfredo Bowman was his real name. How could that happen? And let us not forget Francis Welsing mysteriously died, the author of the ISIS Papers. And then followed by Dick Gregory. Now we can say, well, some of these people died of natural causes. Makes me wonder, what about Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad? He was allergic to some sort of medicine. He died. He was a member of the Nation of Islam. It goes deeper down the rabbit hole, but it's a matter of how far down the rabbit hole you want to go to find the truth. But these people were all telling the truth. What about Erwin Schrift? He's a white guy who told us that we didn't have to pay taxes. There was no law anywhere that said that we had to pay income taxes. They arrested this man, well up in age, imprisoned him, and he died. Poor health. In prison. Why? He was telling the truth. And let us not forget the whistleblower, Edward Snowden. He had to seek asylum in another country because the government here was trying to kill him. He's a white guy as well. My hat goes off to all of them and all of the other hundreds of thousands of real patriots in America and across the planet for standing up for the truth, even if it meant their demise. Those that have passed, that is. But Edward Snowden blew the whistle on the government and said that they were tapping into everybody's phone calls here in America. America's been doing that forever. They just got caught. And they wanted to pretend that, oh, we only do suspicious interrogations or suspicious tappings or tappings into suspicious behavior and or activity if we suspect that you're a member of Al-Qaeda or some other organization that might be terrorist in nature. That's a lie. I have experienced people speaking on my phone line a few times over the past several years. While I was talking to someone else, I could hear conversations in the back. How do you explain that? I'm not the only one that's ever had that experience. We are being watched. We are being surveilled all of the time. Do you really have freedom of speech? Or is that freedom of speech only applicable when you don't say anything against the powers that be who continue to oppress us as a people? That's it. And that's all. So do you really think that you have freedom of speech in this country? All you need do is watch your national news and your international news, and you will see people protesting all of the time in defense and support of their freedom of speech, which has gone ignored for decades and decades. Think about it. Think on these things. I do love you, and y'all love you. So long.